I left somebody behind on the Megabus. Hi, welcome to Angel's Anything Show, and today I'm going to tell you a story time about my experiences on the Megabus. That's right, folks. For any of you that have ever had to do any type of traveling and you either lived in a major city or you didn't have a car or both, you've probably heard of the Megabus. It's basically just a very inexpensive bus service that gets you from point A to point B. And when I was living in New York City, I had to take it a lot to get from New York to Boston or to visit my parents because I didn't have a whip. I've had a lot of crazy experiences on the Megabus, from drivers fighting with passengers to the bus being oversold and people having to sit on the seats of the bus the entire 4.5-hour drive, to the bus showing up 4 hours late on the day before Thanksgiving while everyone stood there in the cold wind and rain on the middle of 12th Avenue. I've had a lot of experiences with the Megabus, but none stand out quite as vividly as this one fateful drive. So, it was just one of those early morning Megabus rides. I was probably high out of my gourd because the only way you can deal with those rides is to be extremely high. So I'm high, I'm in the back. I think it was like a non-crowded bus because it was like an early morning bus on a Saturday. And there's a guy in front of me, I think he was French, I don't know, like he was a culture that didn't know that it was really rude to not shut the fuck up on the bus, and he was literally on his cell phone the entire first half of the ride, talking so loudly, like smacking his gums. He had his shoes off, I remember this. He took his shoes off and was just like chilling with his feet up, talking super loud, as if he's in his living room. So rude. And he's sitting right in front of me. So I just fall asleep, I try to ignore it. As anybody that's taken these big commercial buses knows, even if it's like a 3-hour drive, you have to stop for food. It's like people use being on a bus as an excuse to get Burger King and McDonald's. We make our stop at whatever, it's like a McDonald's. I'm so asleep that I'm like almost in like a sleep paralysis. You know when it's like the middle of the day and you sleep, it's like very weird sleep. Plus I'm on a bus. So I'm like half awake, my brain's sort of awake, but like my body can't move, and I just see we're getting off the bus. And I'm like, okay, whatever, I'm not getting off. And then I hear the bus driver over the intercom say, we're here, we have 15 minutes, and then we're leaving. So get your shit and get back on. So everyone goes, I'm asleep, I just fall back asleep, wait for all these piggies to get back on with their stinky food. Yes, I'm a very judgmental person. Everyone gets back on, I like kind of wake up again, and I hear the driver, who is back on the bus along with everybody else, say, all right, look around for your neighbors, make sure that they're all on the bus, and if someone's not on here, let me know. First of all, this is odd because that's not really our job. It's like you should be counting heads like every other qualified bus driver does, just 2, 4, you go down and count it. And then like you round the person up. I'm not like looking to my neighbor, like this isn't kindergarten, okay? And I'm like half asleep. So we're already driving on the highway, no one says anything. He's like, okay, I guess we're going. And then I look in front of me and I see that the guy that has been so annoying the entire drive is not in front of me. And I'm like, like my neighbor's not in front of me. And then I'm like, well, maybe he switched seats. Like maybe he's not on the bus anymore. I kind of look around like I don't see him at all. And now we're back on the highway now. And then I think, you know what? He was really fucking annoying the entire first half of the ride. I'm basically in a sleep paralysis. Like, this is all happening while I can't even move my extremities because I'm just like half asleep, half awake. But in my head, I'm like, I don't see my neighbor. Oh well. And I just don't say anything because, you know what? That's not my job. It's the bus driver's job. He needs to be counting heads. Like, I'm not a substitute teacher. I'm not a field trip, what do they call those again? I'm not a chaperone, so I don't say anything. I'm like, maybe he's part of the bus. Like, what are the odds that my neighbor would be the one that's left behind? So I kind of just go back to sleep, slip back into my deep sleep paralysis, and I don't think anything of it, you know? Whatever, the guy will figure it out. Meanwhile, it's like we are driving from New York City to Boston. We're in Connecticut, so we're halfway through. We're on 84, like it's basically the middle of nowhere besides like Connecticut, but you know, a lot of the New England's very rural, so you know, he's not like gonna find a payphone to call somebody. So anyway, I fall back asleep and I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. So I wake up to the sound of the bus driver coming back over the intercom, and he's like, I swear to God, this is how he said it. He's like, I asked you all if your neighbors were around you, and nobody said anything. And now, it turns out we've left someone behind. So now we need to go all the way back and pick him up. We've already been driving for like 20 minutes. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna know that I was the one who didn't tell him about my neighbor. But it's not my job. I'm like asleep. Like, what is this? So I think it's hilarious. Everyone's all annoyed because you have to turn around, and it's like they can look and see like where the guy's missing, and I'm just like hiding. Turn back around, go back to the McDonald's. This freaking guy comes back onto the bus. Happy Meals in tow. We got like a number 5, a this, a that, a McDouble, and whatever, a McFlurry. Comes back onto the bus as if nothing happened, as if he didn't just inconvenience everybody and add like 40 minutes to our drive. He loudly dads down the bus, back into his seat, where he proceeds to loudly, gum-smackingly eat his stinky food, take his shoes off again, get back onto his cell phone, and is just sitting there like a big, like King Tut. And then we drove on, and that's it. We got to our destination, but, you know, fuck the Megabus, really. I don't know, there's nothing else to say. You know, he may have known that I did not alert the driver to his disappearance because I didn't really care. But yeah, Megabus, would I recommend it? Look, I lived, and I probably took it like 100 times literally. So yeah, that's my story about the Megabus. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye! As long as you're not taking the, what is that one out of Chinatown that like blows up on the highway and they have like ducks in it?